Alright guys, thank you all for staying tuned to my channel. Sequel to one of our previous videos on pivot table, a friend reached out to me to ask, what does pivot really mean? So, and the question actually pricked my mind, and I thought to make another video giving more insight into what pivoting in data analysis actually entails. So what's actually the meaning of the word pivot to start with? It means to change your focus or to change the direction or something. Let's put that into perspective. At your workplace, you're trying to solve a problem using a given method, and it seems to you that this method is not as effective as you want it to be. So if you discover a new method, let's call it method B, and you switch from method A to method B in order to solve that same problem, you've just pivoted from the first method to the second method. That is pivoting, right? So in the context of data analysis, pivoting refers to the act of rearranging data in a table in order to have a clearer perspective, or to have a different perspective of that same data set. Now, historically, the father of pivot table is none other than the man called Salako, who lived in the 18th century. So Salako is said to have been one of the major persons who worked on the existing then spreadsheet package that was highly in use then, called Lotus Improve. Of course, that's a precedence to our current day Microsoft Excel and the likes. So Salako, while working with this spreadsheet package, saw the need to create a tool that will enable the user of the spreadsheet package easily and effectively summarize and analyze large data sets, and that's how it came about pivot table. For a second, let's see once again how pivot give you a clearer and a different perspective of the same data set. So like we learned in the previous video, you have to do your MV, right? And then you have your pivot table. This pivot field here is a representative of this same data set. It represents this same data set. However, it gives a clearer insight. It gives a clearer insight. It allows you to have a deeper view of this same existing data set. So imagine you have 100 rows and 1,000 columns. You do not have to go from column to column. When you have your pivot table field, all you need to do is to click on what you actually need. Let's assume that we only need to check for the states, right? Or we only need to check for the years, right? So click on years, right? Drag, we need years to actually be under rows and not values, and then check the count of years. And here you go. We have the number of times that 2001 appears in column C, right here before our face, without having to check that one after the other, without having to use our filter functionality or having to use our sort functionality. I hope this helps. Do not forget to like